children, how are you all? I hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to see.
So let's begin with a new chapter of biology today, children, and that is circulatory system. So the first thing that comes to our mind, children, what exactly is circulatory system? So let's see some introduction as to what is circulatory system. In humans, that are we all, a liquid always circulates within the narrow tubes or the channels throughout the body. Like we all are human beings, children, and even in all of our bodies, children, there's a liquid that keeps on moving all the time through the narrow tubes that are very, very tiny, not tiny exactly, narrow. Narrow means they are thin. Tubes or channels that are running throughout our body. And the thing that you can see is the evidence is whenever we get hurt and you get a cut in any part of your body, children, liquid starts coming out. And what is that liquid? That liquid is actually blood that you all have seen and witnessed. This liquid is called blood. And the tubes or the channels through which it is running or moving in our body, children, that is known as the blood vessels. The blood circulatory system is the major means of transport in a human body. Now there has to be some transport mechanism, children, in our body which will carry all the things that are required in a body to move, such as gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide. Then there has to be the digested food material that has to move. Then the excretory material, the waste material also has to move out of the body. So the blood is the only medium that is able to move throughout our body and is able to carry all these substances along with it. So this is known as, children, the circulatory system. Now have a look at this picture, children. This is showing the circulatory system, the network of those narrow tubes that are the blood vessels that are running throughout our body. They are starting from the head and they reach till the end, that is till your toes. See, have a look at the picture. See. So, these blood vessels are running throughout the length of our body. And then they are given the name as arteries and veins. And they are all coming and connecting to the most important part of the body or the circulatory system, that is the heart. So, children, the intake of the nutrients and oxygen along with the removal of the above mentioned waste, that means the waste is, children, like the carbon dioxide and the urea, uric acid and all that, are carried out through the blood by a transport system which is known as the cardiovascular or circulatory system. Our circulatory system, children, consists of blood vessels, that are the narrow vessels through which it moves, and the most important, that is the heart. So these three together, they form what is known as circulatory system. That means the system of a body which will help in the transportation of all the material that are required for the smooth functioning of our body. Now we see, children, because the circulatory system consists of all these three parts, so in detail we have to see each one. We begin with the first, and that is the blood. Blood is a fluid connective tissue. It is known as a connective tissue, children, because it forms a connection between the various parts of our body, through which the transport of the material is being done. All the material that has to be transported will be transported by means of blood. It just works as a courier company. Like a courier company will help to to move your parcels or the couriers from one place to another. In the same way, children, the blood is helping in the movement of all the various material that are required for a body and that are not required for a body to move from one part of the body to the other part. It tastes a little bit of saltish. By chance, sometimes if you taste the blood, accidentally if some drops of blood are going inside your mouth, then you taste it is slightly saltish because of the presence of sodium chloride. Now this sodium chloride is, children, the common salt that we use in our kitchens for adding to the food items. It has sodium chloride in it and it is bright red in color. I hope all of you have seen a lot of blood, so it is red in color. An average adult person contains 5 to 6 liters of blood in their body. Now blood consists of the following. Now what does blood contains? It contains plasma, children. Plasma is actually the liquid part of the blood. Now suppose, children, if I take a glass of water, that glass of water is actually transparent. That is known as plasma. And then you take some red color paint and in a brush and you dip it into the glass of water and you mix it well. Then that is what is known as the blood, children, because that red paint that you have actually put, children, that is the RBCs, right? That is the red blood cells which give a red color to our blood. But the base of that blood is actually, children, plasma, which is pale yellow liquid. Different type of blood cells such as the RBCs, that are red blood cell, WBCs, that are the white blood cell, and the platelets are suspended in the plasma. They are in the plasma, that is the pale yellow liquid. It transports carbon dioxide and many other substances. It helps, now this is important, children, it helps in the clotting of the blood. Now whenever we get hurt, children, the blood starts coming out. But if you press that part of the body with your thumb and you press it say tightly for some time, then a little clear skin starts coming, which in few days turns into a brown color. That is known as the clot. The blood has to clot, otherwise the blood will keep on flowing out. So that clotting of the blood is done by a presence of a protein which is known as fibrinogen. This is important. It also contains the antibodies. Very important. These antibodies are actually the things, children, that protect us from the various diseases that enter in our body. Any disease that enter in your body, those germs are killed due to the antibodies that are present. About 90% of the plasma is water. That means 90% of this plasma is nothing but it is water. While remaining 10% are the dissolved nutrients and the mineral salts. What is the color of this plasma, children? Plasma is yellow in color. Now have a look at this picture, children. This is showing you the plasma. This yellow thing, as you can see it clearly, children, that is the plasma. Then these disc shaped, these are actually what? These are the red blood cells. These are red in color. This thing, children, over here is the white blood cell, right? And these small things are the platelets, these. And the base, that yellow base that you can see, children, is the plasma, is the watery pale yellow liquid where all these things are present. Now because you must be wondering, we never see a yellow color blood coming out. Yes, you don't see, children. Why? Because there are so many of red blood cells that are present in our blood that makes it appear red in color. So it is because of the presence of these red blood cells that our blood appears to be red. Otherwise, the base of it is pale yellow. Now coming to the blood cells, these are of three types, children: red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Now one at a time we see all of them. Red blood cells are also known as erythrocytes. This is another name for RBC. They contain a complex chemical compound called hemoglobin. Now these erythrocytes, children, they contain another compound which is known as hemoglobin. And this hemoglobin contains iron. It contains iron in it. That is why we are advised to take the green leafy vegetables, because they contain a lot of iron, and this iron will help in the formation of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin combines with the oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. Now this hemoglobin, when it will combine with oxygen, it will give rise to a compound which is known as oxyhemoglobin. It delivers the bound oxygen to the cells. Now this oxyhemoglobin will carry the oxygen to the various cells. The red color of the erythrocytes is due to the presence of this iron containing compound called hemoglobin. Mature cells are, children, the mature blood cells are minute. They are very small and they are disc shaped, as I had shown you right now that they are like a disc. It is the hemoglobin in the RBCs which makes it possible for the blood to act as a carrier of oxygen from the lungs to the tissues. Now it is because of the presence of this hemoglobin, children, that the blood is able to carry the oxygen from the lungs to all the parts of our body. Mature RBCs in human beings don't have a nucleus. In the mature RBCs, nucleus is not present. Nucleus is like the brain of the cell, so it is not present. They lose their nucleus so as to increase the space for the hemoglobin. And why they don't have this nucleus, children? So that they can have more hemoglobin and thus they can carry a lot of more oxygen. In newborn babies, the RBCs is nucleated. In small children, in the newborn babies, they have the nucleus. They are made inside the bone marrow. Where are these RBCs made, children? They are made inside the bone marrow and are destroyed when they become old or they become infected. They are being destroyed by the liver when they die, because they also have a lifespan. Lifespan means every organism has a lifespan. They live for a certain period of time and they die. That is known as lifespan. In the same way, children, the RBCs also have a lifespan, that is of 120 days. They are disc shaped and are able to fold and bend. Now these are because they are disc shaped. They are easily able to bend when they have to be forced through these blood vessels. Now sometimes the blood vessels are quite narrow, so they have to be forced through them. So they are able to pass out, children. Why? Because they are able to bend themselves easily. So here we complete with the first kind of blood vessels, the blood cells, that are the red blood cells. Next we see, children, the white blood cells. Now as white blood cells, children, is quite elaborate and in detail. So white blood cells and the rest of the portion of the chapter I'm going to do with you in the next video of mine. Till then, please see the video and see that you have understood each and everything clearly. See you very soon with the next upcoming video.
I hope, children, after seeing the entire video and after listening to me very carefully, you have understood each and everything that I have tried to explain you. Now, if you have really understood the lesson well, don't forget to please subscribe, like and do share my videos with many of your friends so that they also are being helped by me, that is Mrs. D. Nandan. So, thank you and have a wonderful day ahead. Bye-bye.